A smile is the universal welcome. To give such a smiling, warm welcome, now I invite the President of MMBA, Mr. Srinivasa Raghavan, to address our esteemed gathering.
Happy evening to one and all. Honorable Mr. Justice T.K. Raman, we are very much glad to receive you here. We welcome wholeheartedly Mr. Veerakatharvan, Additional Advocate General, Mr. Bhaskaran, Additional Advocate General, Mr. Thalai Muthalas, Member of the Bar Commission of Tamil Nadu, Mr. M. Karnanidhi, Member of Law Commission of India, Mr. Krishna Veni, Senior Advocate, former President of MMBA, Mr. T.S.R. Venkatramana, Senior Counsel, Mr. Ramesh, my beloved Senior, all the advocates present here. MMBA has the tradition of inviting a warm reception to judges who come to Madurai for the first time. We never miss the opportunity to greet them as warm as possible and to see that they have a comfortable and momentful event and tenure here. And on this momentous occasion, I am very extremely happy to welcome the judges who have assumed office in the month of February and later and have come to Madurai bench for the first time. Honorable Justice P.B. Balaji, so you are welcome. Honorable Mr. Justice R. Kalamedi, ma'am, you are welcome. Honorable Mr. Justice B. Lakshmi Narayanan, Sanjay, you are welcome. Honorable Mr. Justice R. Saktivel, sir, you are welcome. MMBA is privileged to host this function, and without wasting much time, I welcome one and all, especially the President of WAA, Ms. Anandavalli, and other office bearers of Friendly Bar Association, senior advocates, friends, and I welcome you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To be inspired is great. To be an inspiration is an honor. On all of your behalf, MMBA takes this moment to honor the dignitaries present today. May I now request President of MMBA, Mr. Srinivasa Raghavan, to honor Honorable Justice Mr. P.B. Balaji.
Now I invite the Senior Counsel, Mrs. Krishna Veni, to honor the Honorable Justice R. Kalaimati with a memento. Now, I invite the General Secretary of MMBA, Mr. Ayiram Selvakumar, to honor the Honorable Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan with a memento.
Now I request Vice President of MMBA, Mr. Alagaram Jodi, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice R. Saktivel with the memento. Felicitation is an inspiration to others and motivation to whom you are felicitating. I request Additional Advocate General Mr. Veerakatharvan to deliver his felicitation address.
My Lord, the Honorable Mr. Justice P.B. Balaji, the Honorable Mrs. Justice R. Kalaimati, Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan, and the Honorable Justice R. Saktivel, Honorable my Lord Justice T.K. Raman, my beloved brother Mr. R. Bhaskaran, Additional Advocate General, senior members of the bar, Mr. S. Srinivasa Raghavan, the President of MMBA, my beloved friend Mr. Ayiram K. Selvakumar, the General Secretary of MMBA, the President and Secretaries of MBHA, Women's Advocate Association, MBA, MHA of Madurai Bench, office bearers of all Advocates Association and Madurai Bench, respected senior advocates and beloved junior advocates, representative of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank the honorable judges on this dais for consenting to be with us here today during the felicitation ceremony. It is my immense pleasure to be with you all during this felicitation ceremony to felicitate the honorable judges, and I thank the office bearers of MMBA for the arrangements and for giving me this opportunity of felicitating the newly adoring judges. My Lord, the Honorable Mr. Justice P.B. Balaji is the son of Sri P.B. Ramanujam, a senior advocate who has a rich experience of 60 years in the bar. His Lordship was born on 11/4/1973, completed his law degree in the year 1995, and enrolled as an advocate in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu on 27/3/96. Joined his father's office immediately after the enrollment, and after later started managing the office. His Lordship's first core area was drafting all kinds of documents. His Lordship is blessed with 2 daughters. I can also say most of the important properties in Chennai is having the seal of approval from my Lord Justice P.B. Balaji. And maybe after his elevation, the litigation is reduced because of the proper drafting he has made. Over the last 26 years of active practice, he appeared and conducted a variety of cases ranging from suits, appeals and writs, and testamentary matters, more particularly in rent matters, consumer and matrimonial and arbitration and company matters, across various courts, right from the small causes to the High Court. His Lordship was included in the editorial committee of the CTC group of journals in 2004 and was an associate editor till elevation. His Lordship authored the books The Law of Specific Performance, a handbook, first edition was published in 2020, The New Rent Act, the book and the detailed commentaries, Law of Wills, a handbook, the first edition 2022, Law of Interstate Succession, a handbook of the first edition 2022. His Lordship co-authored the book, The Tamil Nadu Building Lease and Rent Control Act 1960, as amended by Act 23 of 1973, and the treatise on the rent control legislation in the state of Tamil Nadu in the last 2 editions. His Lordship contributed several articles for English dailies, like the Hindu and Times of India, on subjects touching the real estates, property and wills and tenancy, etc. My Lord also took several classes about the rent control matters and the new enactment, and we all witnessed about his immense knowledge and the jurisdiction aspects of the tenancy laws and other property laws. His Lordship has given several webinars during the lockdown on the Rent Act, wills, summary suits and specific performance, etc. And my Lord is a ready reckoner in all rent control matters. Whatever the point you raise, you will immediately give all the citations which are covering the subject matters. His Lordship was a regular resource person at the Tamil Nadu Judicial Academy, which regularly trains newly recruited judges and given lectures on the subjects touching the rent law and CPC. His Lordship has been elevated as an additional judge of our prestigious High Court on 7/2/2023. My dear friends, in appearing rent control matters, be prepared and get along with the case after thorough study of all the subject in issue. My Lord, the Honorable Mr. Justice R. Kalaimadi was born on 18/4/1968 in Pondicherry, completed BL degree at Pondicherry Law College, enrolled in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry in 1989, and started practicing at Pondicherry Bar. Lordship joined in the judicial service as a junior civil judge in 1995, promoted as senior civil judge in 2007, and further promoted as district judge in 2013, and worked as district judge at Gobichettipalayam, Thiruvarur, Krishnagiri and Salem till elevation. Appointed as additional judge of the High Court of Madras on 7/2/2023. Honorable my Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan was born on 4/10/1970. Did his high school and higher secondary at Sir Muthaiya Chettiar Higher Secondary School, Chennai, Bachelor of Science at D.G. Vaishnava College, Chennai, and BL at National Law School of India, Bangalore. Enrolled in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry on 28/6/1995. His Lordship practiced in the areas of constitutional law, civil and criminal law, law of torts with a special emphasis on the Hindu and Islamic law of trust and intellectual property from June 1995 till elevation for about 28 years. As an advocate in the High Court of Madras and the Supreme Court of India and other high courts like Mumbai, Delhi and Karnataka, Company Law Board, Debt Recovery Tribunal and Upper Tribunals in Chennai and Bombay, Central Administrative Tribunal, State Administrative Tribunal, NGT, Southern Zone, Intellectual Property Appellate Board, and his favorite Work Tribunal at Chennai and Madurai and Vellore. His Lordship was a standing counsel for the Tamil Nadu Work Board, Indian Drugs and Pharmaceuticals Limited and Central Warehousing Corporation, a Government of India undertaking, and honorary legal advisor for the Tamil Nadu Waqf Board, Anna University, Chennai, and the National Health Mission, Chennai. The publication of his lordship will include more than 250 articles in the leading law journals and the national dailies, including the Madras Law Journal, Supreme Court cases, the Law Weekly, March of Law, the Student Advocate, and Deccan Chronicle, and the Times of India. His lordship was a member of the Honorary Editorial Committee in Madras Law Journal from 2008 to 2010, and then as a Deputy Editor-in-Chief till elevation. He was a joint editor of the Student Advocate 1994 and 1995, and a member of the Honorary Board of Editors of the Indian Student Law Review. His lordship was a co-author in the Constitutional Caesars in the Hall of Fame, Mulla's Transfer of Property Act 1982, 14th edition, along with the Honorable Mr. Justice N. Anand Venkatesh, Administrative Law in the March of Law Journal 1995. His lordship was a resource person at the Tamil Nadu State Judicial Academy in training judicial officers from the level of district municipal to district judge, and a resource person for the Madras Institute of Management Studies on the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, delivered several lectures and speeches at Singapore International Arbitration Center and at Nani Palkiwala Arbitration Center, National Judicial Academy of Nepal. His lordship was nominated twice as a Senate member, legal, for the Tamil Nadu Dr. MGR Medical University in 2018 and 2021. His lordship represented India in the prestigious International Visitor Leadership Program in 2012. His lordship has been elevated as an additional judge of our Chartered High Court on 27/2/2023. With regard to my Lord Justice Raghavachari, I am happily and proudly say, I argued both along and opposing his father, his brother and sisters, including my lords as an advocate, and very happy to see my lords in the bench, and we are arguing for the parties. Honorable Mr. Justice R. Saktivel was born on 21/7/1973, hails from Periyakalipalayam, a hamlet on the banks of the river Kaveri in the Karur district. Did schooling in government schools, pursued BL at the Government Law College Trichy, and enrolled in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu in 1998. His lordship was directly recruited as a district judge in 2011 and served as an additional district judge in Tanjavur and Coimbatore, Administrator General and Official Trustee of Tamil Nadu, Principal District Judge of Coimbatore and Krishnagiri District, and Registrar General of Madras High Court. His lordship has been elevated as an additional judge of High Court on 23/5/2023. My lords, let me take this opportunity to say a few words about the role of judiciary, the challenges faced by the judiciary, and the duties of advocates. I will be very brief. The role of judiciary is an integral part of our country. It safeguards the rights and interests of all citizens to ensure peace and harmony. It is the guardian of the Constitution. A judiciary has many roles to play. It plays a great role in making new laws. It decides upon the constitutional questions. It is a protector of fundamental rights of the citizens. Judiciary also acts as an advisory body and checks and balances ones who have the power, thereby helps in preventing the people from misusing that power. Challenges faced by the judiciary also leading to delay in the justice delivery system. Delay in justice creates disillusionment amongst the litigants. Generally, the victim of this is the ordinary or poor people. One of the main reasons for the delay of justice is that the institution of cases in the courts far exceeds its disposal. Delay of justice can be due to several other factors. The pendency of cases, low judges' strength. The Honorable Supreme Court has stated that lawyer strikes is also one of the major reasons for pending of cases. All these years we have been telling that the lawyer strike should be avoided in the interest of the larger public. Insofar as the Tamil Nadu state is concerned, totally there is no, I can say, nil strikes by the bar, and in spite of that, the pendency is not reduced. Attributing this issue only to the judiciary is only viewing one side of the coin. To resolve this challenge, we need to review a larger picture. Pendency is a complex issue. It can only be resolved through a multi-pronged approach. Clear legislations, executive actions within the legally prescribed limits, cooperation of the advocates and litigations, prompt implementation of orders, and respecting the rule of law, etc. are part of the solution. When I am saying something, my Lord Justice Lakshminarayan wanted to verify what is the reason he wanted to say. That is why I am saying that nowadays my ears are in the side also. Always. So the cooperation of the advocates is very, very important, and the rule of law at any cost should be implemented. Our Honorable Chief Justice of India in recent speech has said that the present challenges to judiciary are the expectation of the people, how to distinguish the line of policy and the reality, real-time reporting of every word the judges say in court, in social media like Twitter and Instagram, etc. With regard to the duties of an advocate, the advocacy is a noble profession. It cannot be compared with any other profession because it is a part and parcel of judiciary and the administration of justice. There are professional ethics and etiquette for advocates. Every advocate should follow them in his profession. Advocate has a duty to assist the court in the administration of justice. They must present their case honestly, fairly, and with utmost sincerity. Duties of advocates towards the court include, while presenting the case, an advocate should conduct himself with dignity and self-respect. Respectful attitude must be maintained by an advocate, and he has to keep in mind the dignity of the judge. It is a duty of the advocate to perform his function in such a manner that due to his acts, the honor, dignity, and integrity of the court shall not be affected. When an advocate accepts a brief, he should attend all adjournments properly. The clients mostly trust on the workmanship of an advocate, whom they can easily reach and explain their difficulties, and most of the clients prefer an advocate who dedicates his entire time to the clients and especially who is polite with his clients. My lords, while speaking about the bar and bench, I always say that the relationship of the bar and bench is quite delicate, and therefore mutual respect is necessary for a cordial relationship between the two. With the above, I conclude my speech. Once again, I thank all the office bearers of Mmba for giving me this opportunity to felicitate our new judges of this honorable.
Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Advocate Mr. Sibi Chakravarti to felicitate the Honorable Justice P.B. Balaji.
Good evening, Lordships. Good evening, senior members and the junior members present here for today's evening. I'm so blessed and I'm delighted to stand before you to felicitate a young judge of this esteemed Madras High Court. I'm sure, my lords, you will not mind me addressing you lords, given my standing in the bar. Hope you will have a better young evening today because of my felicitation. My lords, His Lordship is a man of sturdy independence and uncompromising intellectual integrity. I've heard from some of my colleagues who is practicing lawyers in the Madras High Court that His Lordship has the rare incisive capacity to go into the jugular vein of every case. However complicated the matter it is, he would wade through hundreds of pages, cut through verbiage, and direct his questions unerringly on the crucial issues. One can rarely see him interrupt a good argument or endure the prolongation of a bad one, and always courteous to both the litigants and the lawyers before him, and goes the extra mile to ensure the justice is done. And today, when I was going through some of his judgments, Lordship's judgment, I found one of the judgment which he recently passed in the month of June, where he had showed so much of empathy towards the litigant and has found the correct legal proposition to give a good judgment, and which was judgment in INR, where employee of Tamil Nadu State Transport Corporation was dismissed for the allegation that he did not issue a ticket to a passenger and he had swindled rupees of 7 rupees from the corporation. And your Lordship has dealt it in a very fine way, and I would like to really share before you only the relevant operative portions where Lordship has given us thoughtful about how things would have gone. I'll just read the operative portion. The charges that are framed against the petitioner for the latest incident are that the petitioner did not issue ticket to a lady passenger after receiving rupees 5 being the ticket amount. He had rupees 7 excess in his money bag. He acted in a manner causing loss to the corporation, and that he failed to act as a responsible employee of the corporation. Explanation offered by the writ petitioner was that tickets to all passengers on the alleged date, and that the lady passenger who boarded the bus and purchased the ticket from him for ₹5 had lost her ticket, and to escape the fine that would be imposed by the checking inspector, she conveniently shifted the blame on the petitioner as if the petitioner never issued a ticket. None of the other passengers had a complaint of this nature excepting one lady passenger. The show cause noted dated 13/10/2015 refers to several incidents that occurred between 11/7/2008 and 24/2/2015. It is admitted even by the respondent that in respect of the said offences, action was taken and issue was closed then and there. None of the offences set out in the show cause notice appear to be of any serious or grave nature. The explanation offered by the petitioner is also very much plausible and acceptable. The respondent ought to have fallen back on earlier concluded proceedings, that too in respect of a specific charge regarding non-issuance of ticket and having an excess of ₹7 in his money bag. This court would like to straight away note that if the version of the petitioner that he had in fact issued a ticket after receiving the sum of ₹5 from the lady passenger is accepted, then the excess money available with him would be of only ₹2. By no stretch of imagination, the same can be termed as an act causing loss to the respondent corporation. It is really surprising that in respect of such a charge, the respondent has removed the petitioner from service by imposing maximum penalty of dismissal. It is needless to state that in such cases of charges of be it ₹7 or ₹2, no malafide or malice can be imputed, and the same could have been the result of inadvertent or unintentional act of the petitioner, which does not warrant penalty in the nature of terminating the petitioner from service. The punishment meted out is grossly disappropriate to the offence, and it shakes the conscience of this court. Moreover, this court does not appreciate this procedure adopted by the respondent corporation by referring to earlier concluded proceedings for holding the latest charge. And if Lordships, this is judgment which shows Lordships empathy and the justice to be done to a litigant who is before Lordships. In fact, there is much more to elaborate on chief guest today's, my chief guest, Lords, to the person who is going to illustrate career, but I am indeed constrained by time. I am cut shorting my thing. And one thing which I also found that Lordships is a vivid photographer who is into creating a lot of photographs of various nature, and he has been officially sent to ICC World Cup, which happened in the year 2015, which was hosted by Australia and New Zealand, and he was sponsored by BCCI to be the official photographer for ICC Championship. Thank you, Lords. And lastly, we owe an immeasurable debt of gratitude to His Lordships for taking this position, and on behalf of MMBA, we wish you all success, my Lords. Thank you, Lords.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Advocate Mrs. Maria Roseland to felicitate Honorable Justice R. Kalaimati.
My Lords, Honorable Mr. Justice Tika Raman, Honorable Mr. Justice P.B. Balaji, Honorable Mrs. Justice R. Kalaimati, Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan, Honorable Mr. Justice R. Shaktivel, Additional Advocate General Mr. Veera Kadaravan, Additional Advocate General Mr. R. Bhaskaran, Mr. G. Thalemuttarasu, Member of Tamil Nadu Bar Council, Mr. Karunanidhi, Member of the Law Commission, our MMBA President, Mr. Srinivasa Raghavan, our General Secretary, Mr. Iram K. Selvakumar, Office Bearers of the MMBA, Senior Advocates, Mrs. N. Krishnaveni and Mr. T.S.R. Venkatramana, Women Advocate Association President, Ms. J. Anandavalli, my dear learned members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to one and all. At the outset, on behalf of the members of the MMBA, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the judges present here on your Lordship's appointment as judges of this August High Court. I wish all your Lordships a very happy and peaceful judicial innings. Today, I have been assigned with the pleasant task of felicitating Her Ladyship, Honorable Mrs. Justice R. Kalaimati. Her Ladyship was born on 18/4/1968 in Pondicherry to Sri G.M. Ramachandran and Srimati R. Anusia. Her Ladyship completed her BL degree at Pondicherry Law College and enrolled in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu in 1989 and started practicing at Pondicherry Bar. Her Ladyship joined the judicial services as a junior civil judge in 1995 and promoted as senior civil judge in 2007. Later, her ladyship was promoted as a district judge in 2013 and posted as additional district judge Gobichettipalayam Erode district and worked as district judge Thiruvarur and principal district judge Krishnagiri and principal district judge Salem till elevation. Her ladyship's rich and vast experience of 28 years in adjudicating both civil and criminal litigations is without doubt an invaluable asset to our High Court, and I'm sure our Chief Justice will utilize her potential to the advantage of the litigant public. Her ladyship, subsequent to her elevation as judge of this Honorable Court, has been a part of the Honorable Division Bench comprising of Honorable Mr. Justice S. Vaidyanathan and her ladyship, and subsequently part of Division Bench comprising Honorable Mr. Justice R. Subramanian and her ladyship, and presently her ladyship is a part of Division Bench comprising of Honorable Justice Mr. M. Sundar and her ladyship. During her short spell of 7 months as a judge of this Honorable Court, her ladyship has co-authored many landmark judgments, of which I shall just cite 2 judgments due to paucity of time. I stand corrected. Her ladyship is a part of the present division bench only for a brief time, and her ladyship is, I'm sorry. And her ladyship is now been assigned with a portfolio of old civil cases. In the case pertaining to applicability of ESI Act 1948 to the coffee beans processing units, the Honorable Division Bench comprising of His Lordship Justice S. Vaidyanathan and her ladyship have held that such factories will not come under the definition of seasonal factories. The Honorable Division Bench has held that the term seasonal factory as defined under amended section 219A of the ESI Act will cover only factories whose activities take place in a particular period of time, and the process of manufacturing coffee beans from the coffee berries is seasonal in nature. But however, the establishment which engages in any other process of blending, packing or repacking of coffee for more than 7 months in a year, such factory cannot be excluded from the provisions of ESI Act 1948. In the very same judgment, the learned judges have held that rule of exhaustion of statutory remedies is a rule of policy, convenience and discretion, and where the High Court is objectively of the view that the nature of controversy requires the exercise of its writ jurisdiction, such a view should not be readily interfered with. The learned judges have also noted that the objective of the ESI Act, which is otherwise called as a beneficial legislation, is to offer financial benefits to enrolled workers during sickness, pregnancy, and any disability, permanent or temporary, due to employment injury. It is a duty cast upon the employer to pay ESI contributions of the employer and the employee in view of the fact that the medical finances are skyrocketing, and in event of any untoward incident, the employee or his family members should not be stranded in streets. In another significant judgment delivered by Honorable Division Bench comprising Justice R. Subramanian and the ladyship, the learned judges have held that merely because the husband had taken a study holiday or an academic break, his duty to maintain his wife and child could not take a back seat. The Honorable judges have rejected the contentions of the husband that to do his PhD, he had taken a break from his job and was only taking part-time employment on drawing ₹20,000 per month, and therefore could not pay maintenance as ordered. Last but not the least, her ladyship, on account of her being a woman, will bring value addition to the discharge of her judicial duties as a woman perspective of the issues arising before her, and the adjudications of those issues will resonate more with the ground realities and will find easy acceptance among the warring litigants. May the God Almighty shower your ladyship with good health, long life, happiness, and best of circumstances to deliver justice, peace, and harmony to the litigants thronging our justice delivery system. With this, I end my address by thanking everyone for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Advocate Mr. Shivaraman to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan.
Honorable Mr. Justice R. Tikaraman, Honorable Mr. Justice P.B. Balaji, Honorable Mr. Justice R. Kalaimati, Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan, Honorable Mr. Justice R. Saktivel, Additional Advocate General Mr. Veerakadiraman, Additional Advocate General Mr. Bhaskaran, Deputy Solicitor General, President of MMBA Mr. S. Srinivasa Raghavan, Secretary of MMBA Mr. Ayiram Selvakumar, Mr. Thalai Muttarasu, Member of Bar Council of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Karunanidhi, Member of Law Commission, Office Bearers of MMBA and other bar associations, Senior Advocates, Members of the Bar, Staff of MMBA, Staff of the High Court, present media, good evening to all. Actually, I feel very proud and privileged to stand before you to offer felicitation to Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan. Actually, we got a case to argue and we have prepared all the points. But even before we start arguments, a senior counsel argues and he covers all the points we have prepared. What we will do? We will be happy and we will adopt all the submissions made by the senior counsel. So I am thankful to Mr. Veerakadiraman. Whatever the little information we have collected about Honorable Justice Lakshmi Narayanan, most of this Mr. Veerakadiraman has covered, only a little left. And his Lordship, Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan, was elevated as a judge of the Madras High Court and he assumed the office on 27 February 2023. Now we are in October. We are offering this felicitation after 7 months delay. Actually, in a way, I stand benefited by way of this delay because all the information about his Lordship pre-27-2 Mr. Veerakadiraman has covered. I have little information after 27-2 that is alone left to me to speak about. Over the past 7 months as a judge of the principal bench, his Lordship was sitting in division bench for 3 months. And he was sitting single for 3 months and 1 month was went on vacation. In these 3 months, his Lordship has disposed about 609 main cases and 672 miscellaneous petitions sitting in division bench. And in a period of 3 months, sitting single, his Lordship has disposed 1,999 main cases and 1,727 miscellaneous petitions in the 3 months. You know, all these cases, more than 2,000 cases, disposed by his Lordship sitting single, were all CRPs and second appeals. And civil side lawyers knows, disposing 2,000 cases, that to CRPs and second appeals in 3 months, it's a remarkable feat. And it's an impressive one. And out of these 2,000 cases, if I have to mention, I went through about 40 to 50 judgments. And for the sake of brevity, I just want to refer to only one case which so much impressed me. Not only because it also arose from motor accident cases, the subject which I am little familiar with, but also because of the fact, but for this judgment, we cannot imagine what would have happened to the helpless victims of the motor accident if they are not able to file the claim petition within 6 months. You all know, from 1/4/2022, an amendment came in Motor Vehicles Act by which the limitation was reintroduced. In the originally 1939 Act, there was a limitation of 6 months for filing claim petitions, claiming compensation, and there was a provision for condoning the delay. And in 1988 Act, which replaced 1939 Act, again there was a limitation, but the condone delay provision was allowed only for about 6 months. 6 months limitation, and the delay can be condoned only up to 6 months. In 1994 amendment, this limitation was totally taken away. From 94 to 2022, 1/4/2022, there was no limitation at all for filing claim petitions. From 1/4/2022, Section 166, subclass 3 stands amended, by which the limitation for filing a claim petition stands only 6 months. There is no provision for condoning the delay also. Here in this case, one Malaraman met with an accident on 11/10/2022. He filed the claim petition seeking for compensation for his injuries on 19/4/2023. Unfortunately, with the delay of 8 days, it has to be filed within 6 months. He filed it after 6 months and 8 days. Since there is no provision for condoning the delay, the tribunal rejected his claim petition. He filed a civil revision. Fortunately, the civil revision came up for admission before Honorable Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan. And in a similar situation, Kerala High Court has held since there is no provision for condoning the delay in the MB Act, Section 5 of the Limitation Act is applicable, and the Kerala High Court has condoned the delay in filing the claim petition. Unfortunately, appeals were filed before the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has ordered to keep the Kerala High Court order in abeyance. And His Lordship was informed by the Council that this is the situation prevailing all over the state. So His Lordship wanted to find a solution for this. And His Lordship passed over the case. He sought for the assistance of Mr. N. Vijayaraghavan. He immediately accepted. He came to the court, he made his submissions, and on the same day, that is admission stage itself, arguments were heard and the orders were reserved on 31/7/2023. The judgment was delivered on 18/8/2023 within 18 days. You all know not only the change in section 166, the amendment in Motor Vehicles Act from 1/4/2022 has introduced altogether a new system for filing the claim petition itself. That is the new DAR system, Detailed Accident Register Report regime. As per the new DAR system, immediately on registering FIR, within 48 hours the police has to prepare FAR, that is first accident report, and it has to be forwarded within 48 hours to the concerned MACT. On receipt of this FAR, the MACT has to register it as a claim petition, and within 50 days, the police has to file interim report, and within 90 days, and the police has to file the detailed accident report, that is a final report, based on which the adjudication will take place. Because of this new DAR system, the claimant, the 166 also is there. Because of this new system, now the claimants have two options. They can pursue their remedy based on the FAR that was forwarded by the police to the tribunal, which was registered as a claim petition, or if they want, they can file an independent claim petition also under section 166. So His Lordship held, when it was not necessary at all for a claimant to independently file a claim petition, since it is made mandatory on the part of the police officer to forward the FAR within 48 hours, and it is mandatory on the part of the MACT also to register it as a claim petition, the claimant is not it is not necessary for the claimant to file an independent claim petition at all. Once FAR is registered, it is automatic. So you all know, in all the cases, 100% of the motor accident cases, FARs will be there. Therefore, there is no question of limitation at all. The limitation, section 166 subclass 3, can be invoked only in a case where there was no FIR. So because of this interpretation, now in the state, almost all the helpless victims stand benefited. But for this judgment, and we cannot imagine what would have happened. Now the claimants need not worry about the results that will be from the Supreme Court. Even if the Supreme Court reverses the order passed by the Kerala High Court, now the claimants need not worry about, because the question of invoking section 5 will not arise at all. And in your Lordship's acceptance speech at the time of assuming office, your Lordship has mentioned that the bar was viewing your Lordship as an aggressive lawyer. And your Lordship said in an enrollment function that every lawyer is expected to give his heart and soul to the cause of his client inside the court. Maybe because your Lordship was giving your heart and soul, that's why my Lord, you were seen with a little aggression. Now, after becoming a judge, what we see is your Lordship's compassion, like this Malaraman's case. And on behalf of the entire bar, I assure that the members of the bar will extend our fullest cooperation in dispensing justice. And on behalf of the bar, I wish your Lordship to have a successful, meaningful, and satisfying tenure. Thank you.
Get Mr. R.J. Karthik to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice R. Shaktivel.
Very good evening to the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and the members of the bar. Due to the paucity of the time, so I have been directed to cut short all the time. To be frank to the members of the bar, I have been initially directed to felicitate His Lordship's Kalaimati. Off late, I had prepared something about His Lordship Kalaimati, and off late I have been directed to felicitate His Lordship Shaktivel. Thing is, and after coming to the change in the plan, just I inquired with the Coimbatore bar and the Krishnagiri bar where His Lordship has served. And unanimously, all the members of the bar to which I have called over phone, they have said that he is very straightforward and he is very much concerned about the judicial system. And for instance, in Krishnagiri, out of his own pocket, he has renovated the toilets and he has contributed his physical efforts in doing so. And yet another thing in Coimbatore, in the corridors that I have seen 4 or 5 years back, corridors there will be much crowd by the unauthorized tables and chairs. That has been removed. His Lordship has taken efforts to see that the system has to be in a specific manner. And his contribution to the system is very much helpful. And one more friend has told about His Lordship is that right from the student in Tiruchi Law College to the elevation, there is no change in his attitude. That's the great thing for a human. As a human goes to the stage by stage upwards, we could see little bit changes. There is no changes at all, and he is very much firm in such an attitude, and he is very concerned about the judicial system. I am grateful to the MMBA to grace for this occasion, and very much pleased to be here. I'm grateful.
Thank you, sir. The arc of the universe may bend towards justice, but it doesn't bend on its own. Among the dignitaries present today, now I request Honorable Justice P.P. Balaji to deliver the acceptance speech.
Very happy evening. And at the outset, I should thank the MMBA for the warm felicitation this evening. And I should thank my senior brother, Justice Tika Raman, for being present here, and all my brother judges and sister judge on the dais, the Advocate Generals, Additional Advocate Generals, Ms. Veeraka Dhiravan and Ms. Bhaskaran, who have been kind enough to make themselves available this evening. All senior advocates, I may not know you by names, some of you are familiar, because I will be surprised. It's the first time I'm entering the Madurai High Court. Been 20 years since the Madurai High Court was constituted. Not that I did not have an occasion, I had so much trust in the Madurai bar. So I delegated all the matters to the advocates whom I knew here, and I had no occasion to be here. So I was destined to come here only in the first week of October 2023. Despite, in fact, Mr. Srinivas Raghavan called me on the day of my elevation and gave me this invitation. The date was left blank. He said, you should come to Madurai, we will felicitate you. And I said, let the time come. Today, 10/10 is a good day. 10/10/2023, I am here. Last 1 week has been very conducive atmosphere, and it's often said Madurai is the Athens of the East. So I think the bar as well as the registry and the staff are proving that definitely it is a very nice place to be in and to dispense justice in a very calm atmosphere, and the bar is definitely very cooperative. I'd like to narrate a small incident. It's a true incident, not a story. You may have heard of an author by name Todd Henry. He authored a book saying Die Empty. He has written in the book why he was motivated to write this book. He attended a conference where the topic that was being debated was which was the richest land in the world. One speaker said it is the gold mines in Africa. Another speaker said, no, it's not the gold mines in Africa, it is the oil-rich Gulf states. And our own Indian debater said, no, it's Kerala, God's own country. So several people gave several opinions and argued with conviction. Ultimately, the moderator came up with this decision which surprised Todd Henry, surprised me when I read it, and I'm sure it will surprise all of you today. He said, the graveyard is the richest, the cemetery is the richest place, because millions of people have died with ideas not executed, not benefiting anybody. All those wonderful ideas have been buried inside the cemetery. So, richest place is the cemetery. So, this motivated Todd Henry to write the book. He titled it Die Empty. He tried to motivate the readers to see how you can pour out your ideas into your community and do something good before you depart. So that is why he said, don't carry the good inside you to your grave. Die empty. That is why he phrased the title of the book as Die Empty. So why I am saying this today is, as lawyers, as judges, all of us, I think we are in the best place to do good to people. It's a wonderful profession, the advocate profession. You are assisting us to dispense with justice. As advocates, we used to help the judges to dispense with justice. So there is no better place, according to me, where you can do good to the society. For a doctor, only a sick man can go to a doctor. Sick man comes to a lawyer as well. He needs justice in many cases. A man with a dispute with a neighbor, a man with a debtor-creditor dispute. So every limb of society needs a lawyer, needs a good judiciary, needs a good judicial system. So I take this opportunity to, I'm not seeing it from the negative sense. What the term means, all die empty, is die of all the goodness, empty the goodness inside you before you depart. Do something good to the society before you depart. I see no other better profession in this world than the legal profession. I'm sure all of you will definitely, money making is one part. Money will come. In fact, my father used to say, law is learning. Don't forget the L. Then it becomes earning. Learning, it comes along with earning. Therefore, you try to do good to the society, good to the litigant public. I'm sure you're also going to make good money in the process and you'll all end up successful lawyers. I'll end up with a very positive note. If I had said this positive 2 years back, the hall would have been empty. Because during COVID, positive was the most negative word. But today I'm emboldened to use the word positive. So the benefits of being positive in a very short 1 minute capsule, I will tell you. Be positive with your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words. Be positive with your words, because your words become your behavior. Be positive with your behavior, because behavior becomes your values. Be positive with your values, because your values determine your destiny and become your destiny. Therefore, being positive is very important. For example, somebody sees a rose amongst a thorn. So rose has so many thorns, but you can see it differently when thorns have roses. One person sees a door closing. Same door for another person, he hears it as the door opening. So it is something which, the way we think about it. So be positive. I'm sure words will become music, movements will become dance, smiles will become laughter, and life itself will become a celebration. Thank you for the time and patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Lordship. Now I invite Honorable Justice R. Shaktivel to deliver the acceptance speech.
இவ்வினிய மாலை பொழுதில் புதிதாக பதவியேற்றிருக்கிற நீதிபதிகளாகிய எங்களுக்கு வரவேற்கும் முகமாகவும் வாழ்த்தும் விதமாகவும் இந்த இனிய விழாவை ஏற்பாடு செய்திருக்கிற மதுரை பெஞ்ச் ஆஃப் மெட்ராஸ் ஹைகோர்ட் பார் அசோசியேஷன் அதனுடைய தலைவர் திரு சீனிவாஸ் ராகவன், பொதுச் செயலாளர் திரு கே செல்வகுமார் மற்றும் அதனுடைய நிர்வாகிகள், மூத்த வழக்கறிஞர்கள், அடிஷனல் அட்வொகேட் ஜெனரல் திரு வீரகதிரவன் மற்றும் மகளிர் வழக்கறிஞர்கள், உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் மற்றும் இந்த விழாவிலே எங்களை வாழ்த்துகிற முகமாக பங்கேற்றிருக்கிற நீதியரசர் திரு தீகாராமன் அவர்கள் மற்றும் உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய மாலை வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். முதலிலே எங்களை புதிதாக மதுரைக்கு வந்திருக்கிற எங்களுக்கு வரவேற்கும் முகமாகவும் வாழ்த்து விதமாகவும் இந்த விழாவை ஏற்பாடு செய்த வழக்கறிஞர் சங்கத்திற்கு என்னுடைய நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அடுத்ததாக திரு வீரகதிரவன் அவர்கள் உரையாற்றுகிற பொழுது சொன்னார், நீதித்துறை இன்றைய தினம் எதிர்கொண்டிருக்கிற சவால்கள், அதில் வழக்கறிஞர்களுடைய பங்கு, நீதித்துறை எந்த அளவில் மேம்படுத்த வேண்டும், அதனுடைய முக்கியத்துவம் என்ன என்பதையெல்லாம் மிக அழகாக எடுத்து சொன்னார். நாம் எல்லாம் அறிவோம், உலக அளவில் வழக்கறிஞர்கள் தான் சட்டம் இயற்றுகிற லெஜிஸ்லேட்டிவ், எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் அண்ட் ஜுடிஷியரி மூன்றிலுமே பங்கு கொண்டவர்களாக இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். அந்த வகையில் நீதித்துறை என்பது இன்றைய மக்களாட்சி தத்துவத்தில் மக்களாட்சி மேலும் வளர்த்தெடுக்கப்பட வேண்டும் என்றால் அவை மிகவும் வலிமையானதாக இருக்க வேண்டும். அதில் வழக்கறிஞர்களாகிய உங்களுடைய பங்கு என்பது மிகவும் மெச்சத்தகுந்ததும் மிகவும் கூர்மைப்படுத்தப்பட வேண்டியதாகும். ஆக இந்த காலகட்டத்திலே நாம் இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். அந்த வகையில் வழக்கறிஞர்களாகிய நீங்கள் நீதித்துறையினுடைய செயல்பாடுகளில் நீதித்துறையினுடைய முறைமை மேம்படுத்துதலில் உங்களுடைய பங்களிப்பை ஆற்ற வேண்டும். அதேபோல் நீதிபதிகளாகிய நாங்களும் எங்களுடைய பொறுப்பை உணர்ந்து செயலாற்றுவோம் என்று இந்த நேரத்திலே உங்களுக்கு உறுதி கூறிக்கொண்டு, நான் பொதுவாகவே நீதிமுறை செய்வது என்பது வெறும் சட்டத்தை மட்டும் செயல்படுத்துவதல்ல, அதே நேரத்தில் அது நீதியையும் செயல்படுத்துவது என்ற அடிப்படை கருத்தில் மிகுந்த நம்பிக்கை கொண்டவன். அந்த வகையில் உங்களுடைய நம்பிக்கைக்கு பாத்திரமாக நான் செயல்படுவேன் என்று இந்த நேரத்திலே கூறிக்கொண்டு வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். வணக்கம்.
Thank you, Lordship. On request of the President of Mmba, we are glad that now Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan also has consented to give his acceptance speech. I request Lordship to deliver his acceptance.
Acceptance requires an offer. Raghavan has offered, he has accepted, and now I am stuck. It's okay. I mean, Madurai I have never treated as a separate place. Most of you know me as a lawyer. நான் ஒரு வாரத்தில் 2 நாள் இங்கே தான் இருந்தேன். I mean, Madurai has treated me very well. Of course, it's my wife's native place also. So maybe because of that I have been treated well. Thank you so very much for arranging the function. I told Raghavan, அதாவது மறுவீடுனா கல்யாணத்துக்கு அப்புறம் இம்மீடியட்டாக வரணும். ஏன் நாங்கள்லாம் ஃபெப்ரவரியில் ஓத்து எடுத்துட்டோம், இப்போ போய் கூட்டிங்கன்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்னு கேட்டேன். Then he said at least we did it very fast for you. For Bharata Chakravarti, after his confirmation, they gave a felicitation. It's always a pleasure to be amongst lawyers. And yes, do I miss the bar? I miss a lot. But then this is a different aspect altogether, different part of, I suppose, we become more refined. Maybe 10 years back, had I been a judge, I would have been very rough. So after going through all that experiences, it really helps. But then it's beginning of a learning. I request, in case I do a mistake, I request you to point it out to me. I will not take it amiss. I should not take it amiss. Please point it out. I'll correct myself. And before I conclude, thank you very much, Tika Anna, for joining and just this evening. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lordship. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. May I now request General Secretary of Mmba, Mr. Ayiram Selvakumar, to propose the vote of thanks.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். It's my great opportunity and privilege to address the vote of thanks on the occasion of the felicitation of honorable judges on this pleasant evening. We would like to express our heartfelt thanks to each of the honorable judges, Honorable Mr. Justice P.B. Balaji, Honorable Mr. Justice R. Kalaimadi, Honorable Mr. Justice V. Lakshmi Narayanan, and Honorable Mr. Justice R. Saktivel, who made this event possible by accepting our kind invitation.
It is indeed an honor to be in the presence of such accomplished individuals who have dedicated their lives upholding justice and rule of law. So, in this moment, I quote the Tirukkural, "Moolayum uppokkam kaanbar, உழைவின்றி தாளாது உயங்கற்றுபவர்." அயராது உழைப்பு, சோர்வின்மை, இது அனைத்தும் விதியவே மாற்றும் அப்படிங்கிற குறளுக்கு ஏற்றாப்புல their lordships wisdom, integrity and unwavering commitment to justice serve as a beacon of inspiration of all of us. And we extend our sincere thanks to the Honorable Justice Mr. Tika Raman and the Additional Advocate General Mr. Bhaskaran, and especially the wonderful felicitation address given by the Additional Advocate General Mr. Veeragadaraman, Mr. R.J. Karthik, Mr. Sivaraman, Mr. Sibi Chakravarti, and Mrs. Rosaline, Maria Rosaline. And extend our heartful sincere thanks to the senior advocates, Mr. T.S. Venkataramana, Mr. Isaac Mohanlal, Mr. Arul Vadivel Segar, and Meenakshi Sundaram, and President of the Women Advocate Association, Ms. Anandavalli, and Vice President of the Bar, Maria Vinola, and Senior Advocate Krishnamani Ma'am, and the former Special Government Pleader Jesse Jeevapriya, Additional Government Pleader Mr. Harold Singh, and the Central Government Standing Council Mr. Murugappan, Bar Council Member Mr. Thalai Muttarasu, Law Commission Member Mr. Karnanidhi, and all other members. Our sincere thanks to them. And most chronotal, my sincere thanks to our President. Thank you.